What is the difference between baboons and mandrills? The world of primates is home to all kinds of monkey business, and few species have better portfolios than baboons and mandrills, successful and ancient animals with larger-than-life reputations. What is a baboon? And what is a mandrill? Sure, a few physical traits hint at close relations, but just how related or unrelated are they? Mandrill. The mandrill is an old-world monkey from West to Central Africa. Known as Mandrillus sphinx to scientists, these monkeys are from the Cercopithecidae family under the order of primates. Mandrills are a flamboyantly flashy bunch, with colorful faces, hair, and even buttocks. They are certainly a one-of-a-kind animal and the living embodiment of tropical vibes. Males are far more colorful than females, with more vibrant faces and rear ends than their female counterparts. The males are bigger too, measuring 28 to 37 inches in body length and weighing between 42 and 66 pounds. Females have a body length range of 22 to 28 inches and weigh between 22 and 33 pounds. With such numbers, mandrills rank as the most sexually dimorphic primates around and the world's largest monkeys. Additionally, male mandrills have more pronounced cheekbones and bigger teeth. Canines for males can be up to 1.8 inches long, while female canines max out at 0.39 inches. In the mandrill world, these fangs are the ultimate measuring yardstick. Basically, the bigger your fangs, the better your social status and privileges, especially if you are a male. Big fangs ward off rival males and help impress the ladies. Thanks to these robust teeth, male mandrills can also break through tough shells that females and many other monkeys cannot. While menacing, the fangs aren't used for fighting as much as you would think, but they are still handy for self-defense and making the odd kill. Mandrill body hairs are olive brown and often grizzled with flecks of gray. Their underbellies are less hairy, and the hair there is pale. They sport yellowish-orange beards and white whiskers on their faces, and males typically sport a far more elaborate and stylish facial hair. Mandrill faces are fairly long and are divided by long red lines that end at their red noses. The top part of the snout is blue and features a series of grooves. Their rumps and rear ends are equally recognizable. Males have vibrant posteriors that are either blue, red, pink, or even purple. Female rear ends are typically red. Mandrill populations are found within the tropical forests of Central and Western Africa, but some are occasionally found in open grasslands and sparse woodlands. Mandrills are mainly active in the daytime, and they spend a lot of time foraging on the ground. That said, they are highly skilled climbers, even more so than baboons, so tree canopy foraging is not off the menu either. Speaking of menus, the mandrill's diet is classically omnivorous. Fruit makes up the majority of what they eat, with cashew fruits, coffee fruits, and warts being favored. Seeds, leaves, flowers, and pith make up the rest of the vegetarian menu, while animal matter makes up about 5% of their diet. But what does animal matter actually mean? Well, in the mandrill's case, it means ants, termites, arachnids, mollusks, frogs, bird eggs, birds, rodents, and the odd forest antelope. Large prey, like duikers, are killed by devastating bites to their brain cavity. Food availability is the main reason behind habitat choice. In rainy seasons, mandrills tend to stick to the confines of the thick jungles because fruit is plentiful and there is little need to venture far. In the dry season, they often have to forage for longer and travel further in search of food, and some even go as far as the sparse woodlands and savannas. Of course, like many animals in the wild, the mandrill also has to keep an eye out to make sure it doesn't end up feeding someone else. In their native forests, mandrills have to worry about chimpanzees and leopards, both of which are serious threats to adults and juveniles alike. Chimpanzees are larger and stronger than mandrills and can access most of the places mandrills can try to escape to. Even worse, chimps often hunt in groups, which makes the odds of surviving an attack far slimmer. Leopards are often solitary, but what they lack in numbers, they make up for in cunning and sneakiness. Leopard prey animals usually spot the cats, no pun, when it is simply too late to do anything. The big cat goes for the mandrill's jugulars, and either suffocates them to death or simply snaps their necks. Juvenile mandrills are also prime targets for certain birds of prey. The crowned eagle is a renowned mandrill killer, and hordes with young are always keeping an eye on the sky just in case. In rare situations, mandrills may wander into the path of another ancient forest threat, African rock pythons. The large constrictors can easily ensnare and kill the primates, swallowing them whole. Humans are also a threat, be it through hunting or habitat destruction. Mandrills can be problematic for fruit farmers, which can lead to hunting and poisoning. Despite the varied threats, mandrills still boast healthy populations, but conservation efforts are still required. Today, the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, IUCN, lists the monkeys as vulnerable, a tier down from not threatened. With African nations in the mandrill's home region expanding agriculture and mining activities in the name of development, the mandrill's future is still far from certain. Mandrills are also famous for their interesting social dynamics. Females and their young live in big, stable groupings called hordes, while mature males live alone most of the time. A horde can have more than 500 members, and some have been documented with nearly 900, which makes mandrill groups the biggest of all wild primates. Males will join hordes and compete for dominance amongst each other during the breeding period. These competitions typically involve showing off fangs and making loud vocalizations. Males that make the most noise and sport the biggest fangs get the most girls. Mandrill hierarchy is matrilineal, which means young inherit social rank from their mothers. Matriarchs lead the hordes and form the core of the social fabric. Mandrills communicate using vocalizations, facial expressions, raising and lowering body hair, as well as physical gestures like slapping the ground or face palming. Scent markings from the chest glands also identify individuals, their social rank, sex, and age. Grooming is a major way of bonding, and there doesn't seem to be any rank-based barriers preventing the practice. In other words, even the lowest-ranked mandrill can get groomed by the most dominant, or vice versa. In times of plenty, mandrills can also forage alongside groups of chimpanzees, gorillas, and other monkeys in peace. Lifespan in the wild is up to 14 years, but captive mandrills can live up to 40. Baboons. Baboons, like mandrills, belong to the Cercopithecidae family, which makes them Old World monkeys. In strict taxonomic terms, the word baboon refers to animals in the Papio genus, which has 6 confirmed species. We have the olive baboon, Papio anubis, chacma baboon, Papio ursinus, kinda baboon, Papio kindi, yellow baboon, Papio cynicocephalus, and guinea baboon, Papio papio. These 5 species are also known as savanna baboons because they live in savannas and sparse woodlands. The 5th species, the hamadryas baboon, Papio hamadryas, dwells in more mountainous and rocky areas than its cousins. Mostly active during the day, baboons spend most of their lives foraging for food on the ground. Of course, they are highly skilled climbers who dash up trees to escape danger or to make sleeping nests. Baboons range between 20 and 47 inches long, excluding their tails. Weight ranges between 30 and 90 pounds. Males are bigger than females, but size and other physical differences between the sexes aren't as marked as in mandrills. Chacma baboons are the largest species outright, while the kinda is the smallest. While baboons' maximum sizes exceed mandrills, the latter are still bigger on average. Baboons are mainly brown in color, with black faces and dog-like muzzles. Their faces are not as colorful as mandrill faces, and they do not have the Rafiki-style grooving. Hamadryas baboons do have fancy white manes, though. Their posteriors are also famous for being hairless. These buttocks are also covered in nerveless calluses that make sitting comfortable. They live in variable-sized groupings known as troops, which usually have around 50 members. These troops are dominated by males who have a strict social hierarchy. Higher-ranking males have more status, which affords them larger harems of females and more young. While females can and usually do stay with their birth troop for life, males have to leave just before they reach sexual maturity. As a result, most solo baboons are usually males that are in between troops. Baboon troops will also converge and aggregate on occasion, be it in rich foraging or around dwindling water resources. Such super troops can coexist easily enough, but trouble starts when resources are limited, or if someone tries to steal females from someone else's harem. Like mandrills, baboons are also known for their long fangs. These sharp canine teeth can be between 1.25 and 2 inches long, depending on the species. The Hamadryas male boasts the biggest canines in the Papio genus. Again, canines are displayed to communicate dominance and rank, especially among males. Sometimes baboons will also fence each other if one refuses to back down during the displays. Baboons are highly versatile and adaptable creatures, especially when it comes to food. They eat pretty much anything convenience allows. Everything from fruits, nuts, seeds, bark, roots, fungi, and vegetables is on the menu. They will also go after live prey like ants, termites, rodents, arachnids, birds, eggs, reptiles, smaller monkeys, hares, and even antelope. Scavenging carrion is an option too. Proximity to humans also grants them access to crops like corn or even homemade meals like sandwiches and even cereal. In some parts of Africa, baboons are even known to sit around grocery store parking lots so they can steal from unsuspecting shoppers. They will also raid unsupervised camps and garbage yards for food. Naturally, humans don't take too kindly to thieving baboons. Farmers are known to poison baboons or hunt them down with weapons and fierce hounds. In the wild, baboons also have to watch out for Africa's numerous predators. Wild dogs, lions, cheetahs, leopards, pythons, and crocodiles are all expert baboon killers. Birds of prey can also pick off young ones. Because of ever-present danger, baboons stick together to warn each other of threats or even rescue each other from the jaws of death. There is always someone on the lookout, and warning calls are always met with swift action and retreat. Leopards are arguably their main threat because the spotted cats can climb very well. Despite the perpetual risk, baboons are seasoned survivors. They have a life expectancy of 20 to 30 years in the wild, and captive ones can live to the grand old age of 45.